Hello and welcome to some Star Citizen drama. We're going to talk about a backer who got a refund for Star Citizen from Cloud Imperium Games recently, and a lot of interesting bits around that, including
a backer who got a refund.
Do we think Star Citizen is considered anyway released? And is CIG's resolution here for the refund fair?
You want me to
So,
shame
I've
him?
read some articles,
Shame
I've
him,
looked
let's
at some
go.
stuff on Reddit, I've
Shame,
read
shame.
some things,
Shame.
I've watched some videos. So
Shame.
other videos and articles that I saw put this whole situation in a pretty poor light. Star Citizen player gets a partial refund from CIG in spite of studio's legal arguments to the contrary. So we're going to dig into that, and we're going to dig into what's going on here. So let me summarize this to the best of my understanding. A backer who backed in 2022, so last year, and is in the UK, has some ships for Star Citizen.
He must
Played
have
it
a good
bit,
lawyer.
and he wants a refund, so he requests one from CIG. And then he sends an official letter.
Working on
basically
it. We'll have it
saying,
tomorrow,
I want a
Backspace.
refund based on some factors that we don't actually know, but they say they want a full refund, and we don't have the full correspondence of what they originally sent, but we can gather what they sent from CIG's response. So
What was it? Do we know what it was? It had to be a big ticket item. It better be a big ticket item, dude.
this is from their legal team, or appears to be, and we only see 2 of the pages from a 5-page response, so keep that in mind. Reference is made to the backer's letter, and then Cloud Imperium Games Limited has no contractual relations with you. In the following, we answer on behalf of the distributor of the game, Star Citizen, Robert Space Industries Limited, the distributor. Your demands are unfounded, and no reward is owed for the reasons broadly outlined below. Nonetheless, and without any obligation to do so, we are prepared to offer you a partial reversal of certain transactions as further outlined below. To summarize the factual background, Star Citizen is a community-funded online video game project that was launched in early development in 2012 and moved into playable alpha, early access, in 2016. Since then, regular patches for several years now, issued quarterly, have improved and continued to consistently expand and improve the game's playable environments and functionality. The alpha development status of the game and the fact that it still has various bugs is emphasized not only throughout the RSI website and associated other links and materials, but it's expressly
Jokes
and
everywhere, right, Limitless Man?
called out in the
What did he
checkout
buy?
window. The player must expressly acknowledge and agree to these facts and terms before being able to proceed with each transaction. Therefore, i.e., after the player had the opportunity to access the game and evaluate its developments, status, scope, and playability, we offer a no questions asked refund policy, which, per the terms of service (TOS), lasts 14 days. However, we have consistently
He bought the armor
honoured
set
any
and realized he
requests
couldn't
received
fly it,
within
Coop.
30 days as a matter of goodwill. Millions of players have supported Star Citizen over the past years, and every year hundreds of thousands of unique logins generate tens of millions of hours in playtime. So this then
is a fun
continues
video.
on to another page. I assume it's the 5th page of the 5-page document, but basically starts talking about UK consumer rights and basically saying digital content has to be of satisfactory quality, assumedly to be appropriate.
I think this will open the door up. Like, this kind of opens the door up for troubles over in UK for people who want refunds. I don't know. I mean, like, I think Cloud Imperium was just doing a solid for this guy and just being like, here, dude. So I feel like it had to be like a big, big purchase in order for them to even consider doing this, you know?
It to a released product, but if the consumer is fully aware of the product they're buying and that it is in alpha and it is going to be buggy, well,
yeah,
then
it has to
that's
be
sort of
like
irrelevant because they are fully aware. That's still deemed satisfactory quality because
big
it's satisfactory
package.
with the
That's what
knowledge
she
that you
said.
have, knowing that the product's going to be like that. The letter continues, however, regarding your specific case, our investigation rendered the following results. The account shows a playtime of more than 274 hours since 2022. This in total far exceeds the usual 40 to 60 hours playtime of ordinary games by far, shows use and enjoyment of the game, and rebuts the false allegation that the game has not been released. So assumedly, earlier, the person requesting the refund has said, look, the game's not been released. That's one of the reasons I want my refund. They continue. Obviously, we very much regret that you seem to have lost your previous exhibited enthusiasm for the game, but we do appreciate your support under our terms of service, which you expressly agreed to dozens of times. Pledges exceeding our refund period
What's
are
up, Good
not
Games?
eligible for
How
refund.
is my Russian
since
brother?
They are expressly made to support
Good
the
to see
ongoing
you, man.
development of these items. Nonetheless, and without any obligation to do so, but in good faith to express our appreciation of your past support, we are prepared to offer you a return of the cash value of a redacted amount and close out your account with Robert Space Industries International Limited.
So many,
Please let us know if you agree.
So
From
many,
the Cloud
dude.
Imperium Games Limited legal department. It's hard to tell exactly from that how much exactly the backer was left out of pocket. The redacted area where there's money is a huge line. It looks like it could be a lot of money. But I've done some digging, and basically the original poster, the backer there, seems to have stated on Reddit, from what I can tell, that they got all the money back. It was about $250 that they were returning to him there.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Are we serious right now? Are we serious right now? Is this the big news that everybody's talking about right now? Are we? I gotta hit that one more time. Are we serious? Are we?
Shame.
Bring it loud, Pepe.
Shame.
What are we
Shame.
talking about here? This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous, man. $250. Shit. Isn't that what a McDonald's combo meal costs right now, Pepe? I think I spent that on the number 2 combo meal over at McDonald's the other day.
Now, there were complications on his account because he had sold some of his stuff on the secondary market, or at least one of his ships on the secondary market. So they could only refund him certain stuff because he goes, I want a refund. They go, we can't refund all of the money you spent because not all your stuff's on there at the moment. You've gifted some of it away. All of the videos and articles that I saw about this seem to suggest they only got some of their money back, or it was
This is
taking
a
ages.
joke.
That doesn't appear to have been the case, though. This was all solved within 3 weeks of an official refund request being made, and does appear maybe they didn't get back all of the money technically, but they got back most of it, and they got back all of the money that was appropriate to them. The hugely long redacted sort of cash figure there is because it's in multiple currencies, I believe. I think CIG were incredibly fair though. That's my takeaway from this.
Shit,
it's beyond
board
their
gamer.
refund policy. They don't have to refund it. The guy had sold parts of their account on the secondary
He's
market
trying not to
and
laugh
had
talking
played
about
for
this.
over 270 hours since 2022. And it appears
Hey,
that this
Red,
was all
hopefully
done
we see you
over
tomorrow,
a 3-week
Supermod
period
Red.
after requesting the refund
Red gets
officially.
tired
I
so
am
easily
not going
these
to
days.
argue the difference between pledge versus purchase. I've bought a ton of ships. I feel like I've purchased them personally, not pledged them. If CIG sort of suddenly went, no more Star Citizen, I would feel very annoyed. But the thing is, that's more interesting here, is that CIG's legal team may consider Star Citizen to be released. As they said, it's a false allegation to say that it's not been released. So this is kind of legal semantics in my opinion though. It's been released in a form and is somewhat playable. Technically, legally released. You purchase an early access game on Steam. Outside of the refund window, you are out of luck.
First off, this guy's been playing long enough to know better. This guy's just trying to game it, and the amount of effort he put in was at least $700 worth of effort to get the $250 back from Cloud Imperium, which I am like, what the hell? Is this a family member or somebody who knows somebody at Cloud Imperium? This is somebody's nephew or somebody who's upset, perhaps one of the gentlemen we saw in the Inside Star Citizen review show. You know, like who is this kid? Is this an adult? Like, what is going on here? All you have to do is read. There is a website and you read it before you buy anything. These days, it seems like people just like throw cash at everything without even knowing what it is they're throwing the cash at. That's how crazy the world's getting right now. And it's crazy, man.
Although Steam, I suppose, will look at it case by
They're
case.
smart.
And that game is playable to at least a degree because
What's up,
it's
Austin?
an
THX?
early access release. I was also talking to Zin about this, and she's
Maybe,
more in the
maybe
opinion
Warhead.
of CIG.
Yeah, that could be it, Warhead. You know, maybe Warhead's right. You know, like on a serious note, maybe this guy's having like some health issues or some type of crisis in the family, and he absolutely needs the cash. But then again, Warhead, why even bother spending any money when you know you're going to need it? you know, or maybe it just happened suddenly, you know, possibly a sudden health issue happened to this kid. And he's like, hey, how am I going to pull all the money I can pull together? Let me take the effort to like write Cloud Imperium and get 250 on that end. Let me write a letter to my grandmother, you know, like trying to, maybe the dude's trying to gather as much money for some type of serious health crisis. But like on the real though, come on.
They aren't claiming the game has been released. They're claiming that if you've played it for over 270 hours, you can't claim it's not released. And they should have really used the word playable. How are you playing it if it's not released? If you sell it to someone else, you're like, oh, I played this for 270 hours, it's not even released yet. You go, what? How are you playing it if it's not released? Star Citizen, still very much in early access phase. And a backer, if they wanted a refund after a year, that seems like they lack stamina for the project length to me. It's going to be much, much longer, is what I'm trying to say. So I am actually pro asking for a refund if you need one. Even if you're out of that 14 to 30 day window, you might as well ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. You might get lucky. I think Cloud Imperium Games here have acted really appropriately. In fact, they seem to have done pretty good here. They've gone far beyond what they needed.
They got the cash now. What do they care?
Star Citizen releases multiple major updates to their persistent universe each year. It's supposed to be quarterly, but it is a bit erratic. You're lucky to get 3 releases a year, typically. I don't consider that a released game, and it doesn't matter if you do or don't, because
this is just driving me crazy. I want to stop playing this.
They are trying to build towards a release that is out of alpha.
I want to pound my head against my desk right now.
Is Star Citizen in a playable state? Somewhat playable. It
right,
is alpha.
fingers.
Is it a fully released game? No, it is not a fully released game.
What's with all the Predator Mouse jokes right now?
Star Citizen is the longest development of a game I've actually been playing, and it's going to be a lot longer. Boom! That's it for your Star Citizen drama today. I am really interested to know what you think. Are CIG being fair with the way they handled that? I think incredibly fair. You might think, well, maybe their policies should change or whatever. Do you think Star Citizen is released in any way? Do you think they were right to argue that in the way that they
It's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like, people are busy calling this game a scam and saying it's not a game and it's a scam, and then you got people who are saying it's a scam that want their money back and saying it's a game. I mean, Jesus H on a pogo stick. Can I just, like, really? I mean, I'm just spitting truth right now, for God's sake. You know what I mean? People that are upset about this are taking both sides of the coin to get that coin. You know what I'm saying?
Stated it. Do you feel articles on games, especially Star Citizen, can often be super biased and not really representative of the facts? I suppose that's true of the journalism industry in general. Even I, the beautiful board gamer, use attractive titles.
Ridiculous.
So people would deem that maybe clickbait. But the idea is, if you're going to try and make someone watch your video, you want to be descriptive with the title and for it to be as attractive and clickbaity as possible while still being perfectly accurate. You want people to click on it and say, this is what I'm expecting to see, and I did get to see that. Again, this is me arguing semantics and technicalities for things. They might as well put stuff on like, Star Citizen, the game that you may back but might not be able to play before you die, which is technically true. But that's also true of me if I buy a washing machine, and I might not be able to use it before I die. I've really gone off on a tangent here, but I'm really interested to know what you think. Please tell me, even if it's off on tangents, in the comments below, whatever you think. Boom. The Tobii Eye Tracker 5.
Listen, this is just, all of this is just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Pepe, get us to the next one, man. I can't even deal with this.